Hi, my name is Harry, and this is Mine Operator, and today we're on a special mission, and I brought two very special guests with me.
Wedge.
That is a rat nest of wedges. I got a target. That's the line we got. There's a finger for scale. We're on a mission to find quartz outcrops, and I'm trying to confirm some information I was given that there's some potentially high-grade gold out here. So, Mojave and two special guests. Let's go say hi. We have Mr. Hemingway.
Hello.
He's one of our YouTube subscribers, and he was one of our original paying members. And Celestia and I had failed to get him out to the mill site as promised 2 years ago.
Till now.
And we finally got you out here. I got him at home metal detecting, and like I was saying, we're looking for some higher grade gold than we're used to. So he's gonna start out here, and I'm gonna work my way up the hill. But this is Mr. Hemingway. We're very glad to have him today. Thanks for coming, bud.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. One of the things I'm very, very excited about in the Mojave Desert and some of the places we prospect is magnetite. We get some lodestone out here, magnetic. Sometimes the magnetite, the lodestone I'm talking about, is self-magnetic, so it'll attract other ferrous metals. So every once in a while you'll find some lodestone out here. Some of these are not magnetic, some of them are. The reason why I bring it up is because when I start getting magnetite like this, that means there is potentially nugget or coarse gold that is close by. So this is very exciting to me. This area needs to be prospected for sure. Our second special guest is Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals. Jason! Jason! No, he can't hear me over the wind. I'll go find him. Say hi, Jason!
Hey, everybody.
What are we looking for?
Gold.
All right, let's go find some gold.
And there's quartz float everywhere along here. I don't see any workings right now, but I'm quite sure there's a quartz vein. We're running right through this saddle where I'm standing.
You'd be correct. There's a large fault running down to the north-south, and you are probably about 50 yards away from it.
Okay.
Okay, Harry has found the quartz he is looking for. And Jason is playing with batteries. He's exhausting his batteries, and I've just started my stuff. So what I'm doing here is I'm here looking for a sample I can take back, cut open, and do a little detective work on this spot. So I'm looking for values, obviously, for precious metals, but any other information I can glean off of this. So someone did a lot of work to open this up, and this never turned into anything other than a prospect. So the question is why, and if the grade is there, why did they leave it? So that's what I'll figure out. I am at what looks like to be maybe the footwall. This thing doesn't really have much of a dip to it, and I am just scanning for any noise at all. I got the threshold turned way up, and I've got the ground balance pushing, so when I push against the rock I get a little return. So I have it running a little hot because gold out here is extremely small, and if I get any whisper, that'll be something that I'll take back and work with. So I'm just checking the wall for any signal. I'm not expecting to find anything big. This will just be mineralization, and it's got to have that special tone that gold always has. So that's what I'm looking for. And these old GM3s, GM2s, VSATs are excellent detectors for their time for this kind of stuff. So Jason is over here checking what would be kind of like maybe they're throwing samples on the ground for later, and he's cracking them open. And what do we have? Sulfides. And the old timers out here did not like sulfides because cyanide, gold, and sulfides do not mix well. As in, the gold is not recoverable. So especially with the type of bleach they're doing. So you can see on the surface the weather, rain, water, temperature has pretty much pulled all of the sulfides out of this side of the rock. You can see the cubic shape that the sulfides were in, the iron pyrites. And inside the rock, where the weathering could not occur, is your sulfides. Now, that being said, where this has been leached out on the surface, there's a good chance that any gold that was in that pyrite is now in this dirt. So that would be something to look for, and classify this down to like -20, and then you get the free mill gold that Mother Nature has leached for you. But for our purposes, we want free mill coarse gold out of the rock. So I can start to see why this prospect is the way it is, because it's sulfides, and back then they could not run sulfides. But today we can, so I think I'll be coming back to get a bigger sample at some point. But for today, we'll take some hand samples, do it the wrong way and take the pretty stuff and take it back and play with it, shoot it with the XRF, let it lie to us and get all excited. So we'll check back in a little bit. All right, well, I detected the whole pile and what workings I could. A couple little whispers, but nothing sounding off too big. A lot of sulfides, a lot of hematite, but there's a lot of float on this hill. So I think the next portion is, I got my rocks for sampling, so I think I'm gonna maybe chase the float. We got Austin detecting away with a fancier detector than me, and Jason went off and looked at a pit up on the hill. All right. So he's found a target, and I'm gonna start looking at float. Jason's up at a pit a little bit higher up than us. I'll wait for him to come down and we'll check in with him. But for now, I'm going to chase this quartz float up the hill to the fault. I'll bring my detector with. So I'll find a lot of this quartz, and unfortunately, I will usually end up running into another prospect. So, you know, there's nothing new under the sun out here, but there's been a lot of rains in the recent 2 decades, and it's done a lot of washing in these hills. So there might be a outcrop these guys missed, and so that's always kind of the hope. And find some hot rocks with the detector, and maybe we'll find something up here. That's a very interesting piece of magnetite, and it's kind of shot through the cracks of this host rock. Looks like some kind of a greenstone epidote, but that's pretty wild. Heavy. Yep. The old timers have been here. Well, I have a hard head on, and usually we bring it and don't need it, but today we're going to need it. So we're going to go underground. Jason has found a portal to what looks like maybe a haul jet, but there's a lot of quartz out here. All right, Jason, what did we find out here? Oh, I should say, well, Jason, what did you find out here?
I stumbled all over the surface following a vein, talking about how the miners should have come down to this wash and done a crosscut. And then I came down to the wash and found they did a crosscut. So we're going to go underground. I expect that this crosscut goes in at least 50 feet to intersect the vertical vein.
Okay.
And I'm hoping they drifted on the vein and did some stoping as well.
And Celestia, there is quartz everywhere here, and there's chrysocolla. I'm very excited. This is cool. I did not expect to find this. Thank you, Jason, for finding that. Yeah, I would have probably walked my happy rear end to that top pit and said, okay, cool, and left and missed this.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
This is going to be exciting. I always like going underground.
Okay, there's a metal detector and Harry's foot for scale. That is quartz. And there's all kinds of mineralization on this rock. This is actually the colors I want to see out here. That green is actually definitely going to be copper, but there could be some nickel in there. I don't usually see a lot of green malachite out here, but it does occur, which is still a copper oxide. But that's a big guy. You think that's big? There's Jason for scale. That guy's huge.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's a big boy boulder there.
So if that's the width of the vein, you know, what do you call that, 2.5, 3 feet? What's the ratio on that? You only need 3/4 of an ounce for that. Oh, this is good.
You were calling this stuff rat piss?
Yeah, the way the weather oxidizes the iron pyrite, it makes that yellow color. Sometimes in some places it can be arsenic, so you have to be careful, but in this case, this is most definitely iron sulfides, and that's definitely rat piss.
Huh.
If you crack that open, it'll be glittery, shiny stuff.
Let's see if I can do it.
And what we got?
I don't know, I can't see it. Anything in there?
Let me see. No, not as much as I thought. I thought there'd be a lot more than that. There's a little bit right there.
Yeah, isn't that all like kind of weathered pyrite?
Yeah, weathered pyrite.
It's been laying on the surface a long time, probably.
We've also lost our sun, so.
Yeah, it's harder to tell. But it's everywhere. I mean, this looks really good. This piece here.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
The rat piss.
The rat piss.
The banding.
Yeah.
I like banding. I like the banding stuff.
Austin's gonna want to see this. I'll wait for him. So we're gonna go ahead and slide into this thing. Portal is sketchy, but these rocks up top don't look too bad. If you hear something rattling, it's a rattlesnake.
Okay, good to know.
I probably should have gone first, since you're the guest.
Well, let's see.
First 20 feet's the most dangerous for rattlesnakes.
The first 20 feet. Okay, we're watching out for snakes. That's the key, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me turn this around.
I don't see any snakes.
That's good. We don't want to see any snakes because I have no ability to deal with them today.
It's definitely warmer in here than outside.
Yeah. Well, they might be in the. They usually go into the cracks in the rocks,
Okay.
and they'll just chill out
All right.
until you put your hand on them. Then they don't chill out.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
I remember one of my buddies went into a place like this, rear end first, and he couldn't hear the rattle, and we could, and we're like, stop!
Oh, yeah.
And he kept going, we're like, stop! And he's like, what? I'm like, there's a rattlesnake, and you should have seen him fly out of that hole.
So it looks like the first 15 feet are through talus and loose rock.
Yeah, float. Yeah, there's some float up here.
There's a couple of loose rocks right here above my shoulder, so don't hit those.
These are nasties.
But now we're into the actual country rock.
Okay, I see what they did. Yeah, this is the kind of the nasty stuff, you know, you're relying on Jenga to keep the rock above your head from falling.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Little timber work.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Those are nice timbers. Probably are about
Those things have been reused a few times. You can tell
nails in them.
this was like a side project.
They definitely had a little bad ground here.
You see they pulled this timber out of another spot and then reused it. I'll let him get a little bit further ahead so we get a little depth perception here. Well, I'm not picking up veins, so this is definitely just a straight haulage.
Yeah.
They cross-cut to get underneath.
They're just cross-cutting this. Boy, look at that.
Oh,
Old wedge.
that is a rat nest of wedges. Now that's Jenga.
That's definitely miner stuff right there.
Oh man. Yeah, these guys literally used anything that they could, anything they had. You know, think about it, it's like, how much did this lumber cost to get here? You know, steal some from the mine you're working in and go bring it to another prospect. I'm sure that's happened. That is clever.
Oh yeah, we got vein. We got vein intersection here.
That's a miner's graffiti.
What are we looking at here?
All right, so now we know that we're into a place where water gets into because we got the crusties on the ground and the rat droppings aren't horrible.
There's the vein. it's nice, Harry. It's not as wide as it is on the surface, but
Oh, wow.
you definitely got some veinage here.
So someone put some numbers on there, 209. Does that say 209? What does that say?
Let's see, that says P08.
Okay, so it's a
-1.
sample maybe.
Sample.
That's a nasty slab too.
I mean, you've got 2 foot of vein there anyway. There's your characteristic rat piss
So
that you like.
2 times 0.75 is 1.5. So it would have to run 3/4 of an ounce for us. Minus the road work.
They did not drift that way.
No. Okay, altered. Yeah, so this is classic, right? So you're on the surface, you get that boring white fluffy stuff, you chase it down and your quartz vein turns into 2 feet. Those guys must have been really excited at first.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It goes this way.
There's lots of manganese getting leached out of the rock. You see the dendrites, the manganese fans getting leached out of the country rock, so it's definitely a good sign.
We got vein over here. This is
Slip wall.
beautiful slicking sides here.
This slick wall looks like it was fractured after it was made. Right here.
Beautiful slicking sides. Oh, this has got some legs to it here, Harry.
Oh, nice.
We got quite a bit of workings going.
All right, I'm coming. Oh, be careful not to get squished. Like that one's got a nice crack in it. You're seeing an exciting vein, and all I can think about is how this rock's gonna fall on my head.
Oh.
Nice. Yep, you're right.
They were definitely working this.
They like this.
No stope yet. Watch out for this wall here.
I can almost stand up here. Maybe these guys were tall like us.
Yeah, I can stand up, so we're doing good there.
Oh yeah, look at that. No stoping though. So this definitely is just super fractured.
Watch that big chunk you got your detector on there.
Yeah. I'm in a position to not want to touch anything anymore, but
What do we got here? More vein, fractured up vein, very nice hanging wall on our left. Look at how competent that is. All the way down the drift.
I promise that's not gold. There's this yellow mud that gets into the rock, into the cracks, and it makes it look like gold. And
From what I saw up above, it is the same rock on both sides. And we're either at a collapse down there about 75 feet or a stope. But boy, this is a beautiful vein.
yeah,
This is a beautiful vein.
this dark stuff here.
Oh, look at this. We got a little powder magazine area.
Nice.
Well, that was something. That's nice. It's hot in here. I gotta take my coat off.
Yeah, that happens here. It'll be in the 30s outside, and you go on the ground, and it's like 70.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
Boy, this is.
I'll be honest with you, this is the thickest quartz vein I've found out here, other than one other location.
Really?
Yeah, this is the fattest. This is the fattest of the fat.
So is this getting you excited?
Yeah. But the other thing you have to consider is what's the grade.
Right. Well, if you're going after pockets,
Yeah. Well,
we'll see what happens up here.
we're starting to get the manganese. Like you've seen this in Harry's mine.
Yes, I have.
The manganese
The fans,
in the country rock.
dendrites.
What was that gray rock that we read earlier today?
Oh, daysite andesite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what this is.
Could be.
The host rock.
Yeah. Got another little. This is their wood storage. There's a lot of good wood here.
Oh wow.
They were saving. To do a 10-foot drift like that is a lot of work,
Yeah.
right? You know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
And sometimes they did it by hand. They weren't using any any pneumatics.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of work.
I hear a bucket of tools here.
You want to open that?
Or it's going to be a bunch of paint chips. What do you think? Paint chips? And Harry found this stainless steel spoon that was like, why would you pick that up? Well,
It's like it's meant to happen.
yeah. So I'm going to just find paint chips in here, most likely.
And it ended up here.
Well, that's more effort than it's probably worth. And I'm pretty confident that's paint chips because it doesn't weigh anything.
All right, well, let's keep going. What's his name doing? Vein pinching?
Yeah, it is tight. It is pinching.
Yeah, we've lost kind of,
It's there on the left side here.
yeah, a little bit of copper show. But yeah, I think we've pretty much lost most of our big vein.
I'm going to go back to where it's big and see if there's an intersection of two veins. Maybe that's why it's so big. I don't know. All right.
What is this?
Hold on a second. Make sure you check all those holes first before you approach them.
Holes?
Yeah, any well, fuck, we're surrounded by holes, but
For snakes?
yeah.
Oh. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Is this a raise that,
I think that's a cave because there's timbers in it.
yeah. There's vein there.
This looks like, yeah, that was something.
I'll get slusher in here.
Yeah, I guess slusher in here, or maybe this is one of the holes you found from up top.
Could have been.
That's
Yeah.
caved. Because all those old timbers, you know, they get rotten and then from the surface and they just fall and then.
Yeah, there's definitely workings past this.
Look at that staining.
And the vein's starting to come back in here now.
It's just so fractured. This is faulty.
What does that say? I don't know, 2 or 311, something.
The circle with a half circle, 2 and 3, with 4 ones behind it. 3 and 4 sticks. But just look how fractured this is.
Yeah, it looks like there's been some movement on the fault since vein emplacement. Right here especially, it's all just chewed up.
Yeah, that's how Harry's mine is. But then you look at this quartz and it's like encased in the alteration.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
So there was a secondary something or other.
Yeah, I mean, look, the vein's all broken up right here. It's all broken up into pieces there.
This would be very hard to drill.
Yeah. And blast. All your shock blast would just get absorbed.
Absorbed, yeah.
How far do you think we came? We
Uh,
must have come 150, 200 feet.
I'd say around the 200 mark.
Yeah. Now, but,
Okay, we are metal detecting the vein. I'm not going to detect the floor because there are nails,
we found it.
but I'm going to try to pick up a signal here
Definitely a target farm in the future.
and see if we can't get any targets. It's hard to do this with one hand on the camera.
You want me to film it?
No, it's kind of funny. If I stick the metal detector in my crotch, I can do it.
Okay.
So this is working.
That sounds fun for a couple different reasons.
Yeah. And it's just super fractured. I got a target. I'll check back in with you. Oh, there we go. Let's put the camera on and then see how loose the back is. So you gotta be really careful in here. I think we'll have to take him home with us.
Sounds like a good target.
All right. Of course, you know, we have modern tools. We just decided not to bring them. Yeah, Jason is literally using a barrel stave.
To scale.
And I have to be honest, I think that's the first barrel stave I've ever seen out here. So these guys were using everything. Oh, he's gonna get it. He got it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one. Let's see. Yes, sir. Let me double check. Yep.
Check the back again. Where was it, over here?
Yeah, you watch your head.
You got it, dude.
I'm getting more signals, dude. So the next thing to do is ground balance on it. And if I can't ground balance out the gold, then I know. If I can't ground balance out the gold, then I know it's.
Still got it.
Yep, I still got it.
That's a good target, huh?
Here, let me do this so they can hear what's going on. I think I'm still recording. There we go. All right. Target, right? So that's away. That's 2. So we gotta balance it. That's the target.
Target.
Yep. So hopefully it's actually gold. But let's see, what do we got here? All right, now that's in the focus of the camera, we'll have to take this guy and play with it. But hot rocks can sing too, you know, it might just be a lot of iron that happens. But I tried to ground balance it out. I turned the VSAT on and I couldn't ground balance it out, so maybe there's more. We'll find out. All right, Jason is scaling with a barrel stave. Yeah, so I'm probably inclined to fill my pockets up today, but what he's looking at.
I don't know. We should go ahead and get the hammer and
Yeah, this should be like a tomorrow thing maybe, but
done any underground.
just for scale. You can see how big this vein gets.
Like a really, really good signal.
We're out of time, guys, so we're gonna boogie, but we'll catch back in with you on the outside. We can see if Harry's full of it. We're gonna get another detector on that hot rock.
It sounded good underground.
Oh, it was singing. No. There's a little bit of a wobble, but yeah.
Check this one out.
Interesting, mine sings on it. That one's too big to fit in my rock saw, dude.
Yeah.
It's too big to fit in my rock saw.
You think you could put it in your backpack?
I've done crazier things. Dredge motors are probably way more than that thing, but
Yeah. That spot looks pretty good.
You got a signal, or can you get a signal with it, Harry?
let me try.
That one should do it.
Well, it's nighttime, and this camera actually does a really good job of amplifying what little light there is. It's to the eye, it's actually darker than this. This is why you see a flashlight, but it is a gorgeous background. Oh, yep, I know what he's doing. We missed the best part of the sunset, but this is still pretty good. For those of you that are on the East Coast and in the South where it's freezing, right now I'd say it's a comfortable 65, and tomorrow we're going to drop into the 40s. But this is our last good warm day. Well, it's the next day, and you missed the part where we smashed our hot rock from that haulage drift that Jason and I went into. And so we've got the gold monster, and it was picking up some of the rock. We just smashed it in a couple pieces. Nothing in those two, but this guy That's good. So let's do this. Let's show you what I saw, what we have discovered here. There's some copper staining in there. There's a couple limonite bugs. And then there's a big chunk of sulfide, which is probably what the detector was hitting. And it looks like this right here is most likely, there we go, is most likely going to be hematite. So I'm going to put the XRF on that. Yeah, so that's definitely iron. Tiny bit of cobalt. The LE is light elements, so that's like picking up, you know, the quartz and everything that's not like a precious metal.
Music. Yeah.
And my neighbor is playing music right now, so the licensing is going to get screwed up on this.
Well, you want to break up that big rock again? See if we can.
We're going to shove them in the orbital.
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh, break that one up. See if you can keep that,
Okay.
that target isolated.
Okay. All right.
It's not my rock, but that's what I.
We're going to do that. Let's do that.
I'll try.
Okay. Still looks the same. Now, that's limonite, but iron. Well, there's a lot of base metal in there that are non-ferrous, so maybe that's what the detector was seeing. Here's this yellow stuff. It's limonite. The only way to really know, we gotta crush this thing all the way.
I'll throw it under the detector again.
All right. Uh-oh. Oops.
Hard.
I guess there is a limit to the size. I gotta fix this. Oh, spit it out. Woo. This thing's a beast. I did it. We will classify this off. So I had that thing set to 1/8 inch. So this is all the oversize. So that will obviously need to get crushed further. But if there's any free mill in this, we'll find out. And no, we're not going to get wet today because it's cold. Today we are in one of our prospects in the Mojave Desert. And this is a shot out of the shaft. This is our strap rail. We're at the first level. And then we go down to the second level. All right, well, we're done sampling that one mine and one prospect from yesterday, and we did our little pan test this morning. And after that, we decided to take Jason and Mr. Hemingway out to a prospect called the Mars. And this is the shaft. This is our strap rail. And I'm going to take them for a little tour of the underground workings, and then we're going to go prospect a few little spots. All right, Slusher, Con Man, Mr. Hollywood, Ron, we are in the top of the Mars stope, as high as you can get to the surface. And they definitely had limonite pockets in here. And I always talk to you guys about how I really wanted to come up here and vacuum the top of this big pillar. And there's a lot of material here, so I think we'll take a sample. And with the blessing of the team, I'll send Jason with about 25 pounds of that. And then we'll take the rest back to our place and play with it and see if it's worth vacuuming the loose stuff here in the stope, which I suspect would be worth it. But it's kind of an interesting perspective being on the top where the working face is. I mean, you still call this a working face, right? Even though it's in the vertical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're at the working face. And I suspect the guy that was here in the 80s was picking at these limonite pockets, only because I can see that there is the black soot from the fire covering those spots. So, but then I see this hole, which doesn't have any soot in it at all, so that might be post-fire. So I'm sure there was other people in here between that time and now. If you wanted to go this way, you're going to have to trust the stalls, which have not been sounded, have not scaled. Like this right here will go if I pick on that. But as we learned at this mine, when you start picking on the hanging wall, it opens a can of worms that you don't want to deal with. So if it hasn't fallen off, you better leave it alone. I'll catch you up here. We've decided to sample the top of the stope where the work had finished or had stopped. So I have a little bit of limonite here on the footwall, and then there's a little bit of a pocket here that someone attacked. But we'll just kind of bounce around the vein here, trying to identify anything we might want to take a sample on. I'm not too concerned about the hanging wall. I'm more concerned about the footwall because that's where a majority of our testing had. So if I had to gamble, I'd gamble on the footwall. But I could be wrong. All right, we're back at the mill site, and we're gonna go ahead and process some of these samples. The first spot that we prospected in 2 South, it's in this bag. I'm gonna classify it and then do a little pan test and try to identify grade. Right, that sample is 3.9 pounds. The pan has been tared, so this is 3.9 pounds with the bag. I'm going to classify this off and then get another weight before I pan it. So I did a few scans of this classified material, and I did not get any hits for gold, but it is definitely heavy in iron. Decent values of titanium and a trace of molybdenum, but no gold.
I try something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff.
You know what happens if I scan this pan?
Gold.
I get platinum group metals out of the plastic.
Do you?
Yeah. So I got to be careful. Yeah, look, see, it tells me there's palladium and cadmium and yeah, and so this thing doesn't know how to do plastics.
Okay.
Come on, focus. So if you're gonna scan stuff in a pan, just know you're gonna screw your. There's silver. This pan's made of silver and palladium and lead, and it's not.
Well, the thought was that you've pushed the gold down to the bottom, so I was just looking through the bottom stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we'll get lucky. Come on, focus. And the iron content went up. Same values.
Yep.
So we panned the classified material and it's about 2.2 pounds of ore for that little show of gold. Now we're going to run the material that came from the top of the stope on the second level or first level. So I'll equate this success to Jason's panning skills and prowess. We have 12 pounds and we panned 8 of it. So this is the line of golds from the upper stope. So there is still gold there. And this was removed exactly the same way as the material from down in the second level. So this is going to motivate Slusher and Conman to want to go sample that. We haven't sampled it yet, and we're probably going to go try and do a channel sample based upon this result. Yeah. Okay, so what just happened off camera, I panned the rest of the top of the stope. I've consolidated the gold. Focus. Here, let's get rid of the water. There. That's the line we got. There's a finger for scale. So my job is to dry this and weigh this so I can kind of get an average grade. And I know that this gold in this mine runs at about 80% due to copper and silver and other impurities. So I can kind of figure out what the grade is. I will get that at a later time, but it will be in this video. Okay, I was able to find a drying dish and with a scale that goes to the three places. So it's 272, and that 7 segment display's messed up, but that's a 9. So 2729, 2728, and the melt dish weighs, I think it's 2.689 grams. So those two, the difference is 0.039 grams is what is in this dish. And we did 12 pounds, and a ton is 2,000 pounds. That ratio is 166. So 166 times 0.038039, that's going to give me about 6.3, 6.4 grams per ton. Now keep in mind, we crushed that to minus 1/8 inch, so the grind was terrible, and then we panned it. And obviously Jason expertly panned his, but I speed panned mine. So I think we should go back and do a larger sample based upon that. Okay, we're going to do the quarter race on the shaker table.
2017.
Okay, on your marks, get set, go! Jason's in the lead. I don't know, it's not looking good.
I think I got a head start though.
Yeah, you're supposed to put them next to each other. Maybe we can do a redo. Jason's still in the lead, but Austin's starting to catch up. Oh. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Jason wins. On your set, go.
I got bogged down.
Oh, Jason got bogged down in the sand trap.
Right.
Austin's in the lead.
It's gonna come from behind now.
Yeah. Oh, someone's catching up.
Alright, it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be close. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Austin, I think you're gonna get beat. Yep. Jason wins. Jason wins.
You know what it is? My quarter has silver.
These are the rocks from the first prospect that I wanted to take a sample from. These are the ones that sounded off from the metal detector or had some type of return. And I will cut these. This is the one that Jason had broken up with all the sulfides. I'll get a fresh, clean face on this one. and I'll start working through these, and if I get anything of note, I'll catch it on camera. Let's see what it looks like. Sulfides. Big time sulfides. It's fractured iron pyrite that may contain some precious metals. Which is most likely the case with this particular spot. Looks to be like a hematite, or that is limonite after pyrite, which means it used to look like this, now it looks like that, because it has a cubic structure. And that's pretty common in this district. No VG. Okay, Harry has found the quartz he is looking for. Alright, it's that one chrysocolla rock we found out there. Wow. Ooh, I have to get the XRF on that. That is crazy looking. Wow.